What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to Strangers Minds. I'm Fernando, and today we're gonna read from Reddit, a Reddit group, Haunted. I am part of so many, as you guys can see right over here. I am part of so many communities. Hey, gaming. I'm a gamer, you guys. So just in case, Gamers Sanctuary. It's on YouTube. I play games with an amazing stories, and like doing this. I enjoy recording content and just putting out the campaign. But we're gonna talk about Haunted here 6 hours ago. Let's see what this is because that's this creepy freaking doll. Let's see if there's a story to it. Nope. Is this a video? What is this? Oh, saw this on my local Facebook marketplace. Por- Porcelain doll not haunted. hey, hey, you have to make sure you put that there for whoever is interested in buying knows that is not haunted. There is let's say, a bit of a conversation whether or not if objects could be haunted or possessed, or the most famous doll of them all, Annabelle. But there's a bunch of others. Can objects be haunted? Now here is my opinion, my theory. I think so. I believe so, because the way I feel is that if a person loves something so much and they spent a lot of time with this object, their energy is almost like when they pass on, it's almost like their energy like stays with the object. It's I mean, can we consider a house to be an object? Because what are we talking about then? A house can be haunted. Paranormal activity most of the time occurs in within four walls and a roof, and the house is technically an object. So yeah. Um, but for sure, people sell creepy looking dolls all the time, just in case. Shout out to the Infield House in Connecticut. They Jay and Elka, they sell. Elka makes these weird dolls, and she sells them also. And I'm pretty sure it's in the Facebook Marketplace. But hit them up, tell them Fernando sent you, and you'll have a good old time. Let's see some comments. Ouija board. I've long said, and if I have time to do one more video today, I'm gonna do it on the most disturbing Ouija board encounters. I'm gonna do that. Okay, Ouija board. Poor thing. They won't even invite it inside. I know it just wants a home. Jeez, right? Why did they take the picture on the threshold? Seems suspiciously haunted. Right? It was like almost like they kind of kicked it to the side of the door and just took a picture. Like it doesn't even seem like if it's like for sale. It's like, did somebody lose this? Kind of look at this. Did somebody lose it? Who put this on my door? That is kind of creepy. It has a. Can I? Oh, what does it say here? I don't know if there's a tag on it. But guys, man, that is a freaking creepy. Nah, not me. I'm good. I am so good. All right, but you know what? Let's continue on the haunted site. Okay, Defiant phone 11 days ago. Let's see. Pretty good story. Let's go. Is this one picture? Yeah. My great grandmother's mirror that terrorized my entire family until we covered it. The towel hasn't been moved in 5 years. God. Let's see what this is about. Okay. I am curious if anyone gets a read off this old vanity dresser, specifically the mirror that is covered up. There is absolutely no doubt for me that it is haunted. I grew up with confusing and scary memories as early as I can remember. My mom got this mirror from her grandmother once she passed away when I was very young. The main entity in the mirror was attached to me. Oh, I mean, I was going to say, is it your grandma? Because then this sounds like it's messed up. Like you guys are. I am. I am a paranormal investigator. I believe in the paranormal. I believe there are ghosts. I believe there are entities. There are good entities, bad entities. But most importantly, especially since we're on the subject of this mirror, there are loved ones that has passed on and they aren't physically with us, but they are spiritually with us. And if this is something that your grandmother owned, what makes you not believe that it's something that, whatever attachment this mirror has is not your grandma? I've said this before in another video, and I'm like, I would hurt, like, it would be so messed up because my father passed away, and it would be so messed up if I go, like to visit my mom and then stuff happening and I'm like, get away, demon. And it's like, it's my dad, right? Like that is just, okay. So the main entity in the mirror was attached to me, I believe, since I am very energetically sensitive and emotional. My mom used to have to lay down with me at night so I would sleep, but I will wake up somewhere between 2 to 4 a.m. every night to the sound of someone pacing around and around my bed. My mom sometimes heard it while she was laying with me. I would often have terrifying nightmares and felt like I was trying and it and felt like it was trying to attack me through dreams. Eventually, I would like to know a little bit more details about your dreams just to see, or I mean, that dreams are personal, right? But is it really attacking? I remember when my grandma used to pinch my cheeks pretty hard, but that wasn't necessarily a physical form of violence. Eventually I started to leave my room and go to it because I felt that would keep it out of my room. I would sit in the hallway in the dark for hours, staring down the hallway. When I think back on these memories, they are weird and foggy, almost if I were being influenced or possessed. Okay. There seemed to be more than one entity, but they all seemed dark and evil. It did not feel like a family member. Okay. There was even a four-legged spirit, ooh, that would run down the hall and jump into my bed repeatedly. I felt it was a hellhound. Okay. This is taking a dark turn, you guys. I would also hear tapping and thumping noises in counts of three. My younger brothers also heard these noises. Spirits were always moving objects, opening doors, and knocking things over. My entire family saw and heard things. My mom knew it was attached to me, and when she would hear it walking around, she would run to try to close the door to my bedroom. I mean, as a mother instinct, you are going to protect your child, but closing the door doesn't do nothing to an entity without a physical form. My mom knew it was attached to me. And bedroom, close the door to my bedroom, and okay, bedroom, and it would run past her to beat her in there. Jeez, you could feel the whoosh of air as someone runs past you. It didn't seem to be able to walk through doors. Oh well, there goes my theory. But would have to turn the knob and open it to get inside. It followed me wherever I slept. If I slept in my mom's room, for example, it would come and open the door at some point in the night. There are a few episodes where I had sleep paralysis or the feeling of something trying to keep me asleep so that I couldn't escape a nightmare. I would know I was dreaming, but couldn't move my body or wake up. A few times when this happened, I would hear heavy mouth breathing right next to my head upon waking. This breathing would continue for 5 minutes or more while I hid under the covers and prayed for it to leave. It happened a few nights in a row at one point, and I became a hysterical mess and couldn't sleep. I was begging my boyfriend at the time to pray over me every night on the phone so that it couldn't so it wouldn't come for me. It also did the breathing thing once to my mom. My entire family heard and saw things and they all believed me. But it was more rare for them and I experienced something odd almost every night. Even my dad, who didn't believe in ghosts at all prior and was a huge skeptic, heard and saw things that he couldn't explain. Eventually we covered up the mirror and all of it stopped. There hasn't been any activity in 5 years since the towel was placed over it. My mom will not even move it to clean, and she is terrified of the spirit as well. It feels like it was possibly a portal. The night this picture was taken, me and my two younger brothers were alone in the house at the time. I had gotten a weird feeling about it, and the cat kept going over it to sit in front of it. I felt like it wanted me to move the towel or wanted the cat too. But we kept our distance. If you could really, if you get really close to it, there is sometimes still a heavy and cold feeling. All I'm gonna say is that I'd be careful with the cat because it seems like um, you genuinely are feeling that something is going on with this mirror, and for some reason by putting a towel over the mirror, it stopped activity. I've never heard of this. Never. I mean, yeah, I've heard of mirrors being a somewhat of a portal, and please, you guys, do not try any of this that I mentioned because I don't want to be responsible for anybody to be, going through hard times. But it is said that if you was to put mirrors facing each other, which would create this endless loop at the end of the loop, when it like after like 100, you know, uh, reflections of you, it starts getting dark. And within those those images of yourself looking into the mirror, you might come across something that it's a little bit odd because it is said that it does create a portal. And if you're not careful, things could happen. But here's the thing, like there are mirrors facing each other all over the place. I mean, even Mirror House, one of those fun houses, right? But even those are potentially scary and dangerous if you're running through a mirror house. But in a haunted location, having two mirrors facing each other, yeah, I mean, you might as well play with a Ouija board. But yeah, having that cat there would make me so nervous that it would just bring it down and stuff would just start going crazy. This is an amazing story. Defiant Foam, thank you for sharing your story. This is amazing. I mean, even so that I've never heard of such a thing that mm, never, I don't know what movie that is, but yeah, yeah, technically something like this, what I was talking about. Um, I think I would get rid of it. Is there a reason why you still have it? If the whole family has experienced this and your grandma, is is it because it holds some sentimental value? The reason why you keep it? Because honestly, yeah, yeah. Uh, I don't really own anything that is of my father's. I don't really own anything that is of a past loved one. But if it has some significance to your life, you got to weigh the pros and cons. Uh, would it bother your family if you get rid of some or your past loved one if if you get rid of something to cause for you to have a relief, to be in a positive state of mind? I don't think they're going to hold a grudge if you get rid of something that is making you and your family uncomfortable. That's just me. um my mom won't get rid of it completely because it's my great grandmother's. But there's some darkness in our family for sure. Is there a sibling or cousin you're not a fan of? There's That's where I would send it. This was grandma. She wanted you to have it. Yo, killer kitten, you sick. Yo, but I like your style. Yo, LMAO. No, I like my cousins, and believe me when I say I would never wish what I went through on my worst enemy. Basically, my entire childhood, I did not ever have any restful sleep. Jeez. I would wake up at 2, 4 a.m. and listen for things for hours and freak myself out, even if there was nothing that night. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely say that when you go through a dramatic experience, you're almost not wanting for something to happen, but you're waiting for something to happen. It's almost like a defensive mechanism that has implanted itself inside of you, and you just really know what I mean? Like you don't really feel comfortable to be at rest or at peace until something happens, which is, you know, kind of weird. But let's move on to the next. I was kind of okay. Let's see if there's a story. No story, but there is a video. How long is this video on YouTube? Let's see.
Tell us the story of when you and your siblings grew up in a funeral home. Where was that at?
That was in Sequoit, New York.
Do you know the address?
No. I can look it up.
Yeah, we could figure it out.
Yeah.
I want to go there.
We lived in a funeral home. I never thought it was a funeral home. It took me a minute to figure out that it was a funeral home.
So, yeah,
Like,
so kind of tell us in sequence from the beginning how that kind of came about.
Oh gosh, I mean, I think initially I was scouting around the property and across the street there was like vines grown over, and I was like, what is this? And I was walking through and there were headstones. There was headstones with a bunch of vines grown over them, and actually they had thorns on them.
How many did you say?
Oh gosh, I mean there wasn't a whole lot. I'd probably say about 20 or
So it was a
something
small
like that.
cemetery.
Yeah.
We're not going to listen to the whole thing because it's 15 minutes, but let's fast forward to creepy stuff. Let's see.
And the other two boys were in another room, and we would see ghosts. And one day, everybody saw the ghost, ran out, and I was a deep sleeper.
All
and
of you
you
guys
see is-
saw it?
Yes. It was a little Mexican boy that would go, amigo, amigo, amigo. I mean, I don't know. Seriously. Or we seen a little Indian guy. We saw a little Indian guy, which makes sense, upstate New York and Sequoia,
Yeah.
right? We saw a hand on the window. That was kind of creepy. The woman that would float with the eyelet. She had like an eyelet collar, white, long. It looked like jammies actually from back in the day.
To embalming and
Yes, I remember seeing something like that, and I don't think. You
Like
know,
what
they got a
type
good
of-
deal on the house.
well, yeah. How much below market value?
I don't know, but
But okay,
it was beautiful
what
though.
type
But
what type of tools?
I can't remember. I just remember.
Dude, like realtors should add it into their repertoire when they're showing houses. Like, hey, you know what? Just in case, I know this is a beautiful modern house, but it used to be a morgue. It used to be a funeral home. This place is built on top of Indian burial grounds. Or this place is built over a cemetery. Cemetery's long gone, but this beautiful house is here. I think yeah, it would be a crime actually. Dare I say it would be a crime. You know why I say it would be a crime? To sell a property without letting the buyer know what they're getting themselves into, because time and time again I have come across cases. Yes, just in case I haven't mentioned it all the time in every video, I am a paranormal investigator. Yes, I don't have a television show. Yes, I do this stuff for fun and I enjoy it. And yes, I do this stuff because maybe or hopefully I could reach out to somebody that might watch this video and actually get some, you know, some some good advice. Because I have reasons why I do this, and one of those reasons is because I like to help people, especially paranormal victims, to which I say now, time and time again, there has been always a Hollywood movie, but based on true events, meaning it actually happened to a certain extent, but it's just that, people tend to, Hollywood tends to over dramatize the paranormal activity, which causes people to be like, that stuff is fake. No, paranormal is real. And yes, there are many instances off the top of my head right now. Amityville, Haunting, Connecticut, so on and so forth. And I believe that Haunting in Connecticut, if I'm not mistaken, um, it was a funeral home. Actually, it was a funeral home. Yeah. And people bought the house. And then, unfortunately, for some people, and I've come across many cases, they buy a house and put their life savings into it, and if stuff starts happening, they cannot just up and leave. They have to, dare I say, suffer the consequences. But it this happens, you guys, and this is a person matching her pillow that is experiencing the same thing. So let's continue on.
Old looking
Like
stuff laying
tubes and
around.
stuff.
Oh gosh.
And probably
I was
like
young.
beakers and jars and stuff, like
I-
embalming fluid
Yeah,
stuff.
I was probably 8 or 9 years old.
Yeah, and how long did you
Something
guys
like
live there?
that. Probably a couple of years. Yeah.
So grandma and was that one she was still our grandpa at the time?
Yes.
Alright, well, so they just decided they wanted it because it was cheap.
Yes.
They
Well, they had 6 kids.
They didn't care about the funeral home
No.
aspect of it.
But they didn't tell us. We had to scout around
Did
and
you
then we
eventually
figured
confront
it out.
Did you eventually confront
Yes.
them? What they said?
At least, they were notified that this used to be a family home. I've heard stories of people buying houses and then later on through chit chatter with neighbors and people from the neighborhood. Hey, how did you know that there's a huge murder that happened there a couple of years ago? Like there's so many so many scenarios that could go wrong when you go out and buy a house. Honestly, I've long said that if I was to ever go house hunting, which we are, I before even putting anything down, I'm gonna do a whole search because you can actually do that, you guys. You don't have to go by what the realtor is telling you. You could do your own research and find out what's going on with the property, not necessarily the house, because it could be a brand new house, but it's the land that counts. And honestly, uh, the world has been spinning for millions and millions of years. Technically speaking, every inch of this world, every inch of land in this planet should be covered in some type of blood. That's my opinion. That's actually a awesome, cool way to put that. Off the dome, off the dome. Let's go a little bit forward just to see if there's anything else.
With someone. It was a I can probably look through where I've lived.
Lived and find out, yeah.
Yeah, I can ask Mom if she
Are
remembers.
you serious?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Grandma
a
does have a gift.
like a random act of that happening? Like, or
Yeah.
like it was someone the person
Like
knew?
she knew something horrible was going to happen.
No, like I'm saying that lady that it happened to, though, or whoever it happened to, like, were they targeted, or like...
It was just someone that broke into the home and...
You're joking.
No. Nope, I kind of remember that house. We had Barney, and we had, that was a dog, a big dog. Like it was a huge dog, and we had a Labrador.
That's actually insane, Mom.
Yeah,
That's sad.
yeah.
But so just one person was living there?
I don't know, Mom. That's just something Mom told me. I've had a lot of things happen. A lot of experiences with.
Yeah.
I'm not remembering all of them because I just go through it and then I'm done with it. The one house that's the cleanest house I've had is the house I live in now.
So I thought it was like an investigator just interviewing a person, but it's a guy. He's interviewing his mom. Hmm. That's awesome to have a relationship like that with your parent, because often I hear how parents just kind of discourage their kids. Yeah, it's just a nightmare. Yeah, it's just your imagination. Nothing's under the bed and nothing's in the closet. Um, but just sometimes, and maybe since it is known that children, has a more deeper sense or th- not sense. I'm sorry, wrong choice of words. Their brain is more open than us adults. They're able to receive certain things that we aren't capable of, just like animals, like dogs, cats. They're able to sense, they're able to see things that we can't. Same thing with kids. The younger you are, the more open you are. And the fact of the matter is, the older you get, the more it closes, which sucks. But I've long said, I always like, especially when I go out on the field, with my team, I always like to have somebody that's a sensitive with me, but I wouldn't want to be a sensitive, because a sensitive, I say sensitive, whether or not they're psychic, empath, medium, so on and so forth, whatever. Um, I wouldn't want to have that ability, even though people that with that ability tell me I have the ability, because I've been to so many um, haunted locations. Um, I wouldn't really want to get into that, just because I like to. It's gonna sound really bad, you guys, but it's good to have a person with abilities in your team so they could help with the investigation. I wouldn't want to be that person, just because a lot of times I've seen, especially with sensitives, they're not able to go to certain places because they get such a bad, hard, kind of like a roadblock. They cannot pass this threshold. They cannot go to certain places. That's the reason why I don't want to have it, because I want to go to those places. I want to go into the dark places and see what if, right? But anyway, you guys, we're gonna call it right here. If you guys want to check out this whole video, it sounds interesting. I'll probably check it out on my personal time. But she lived in an old funeral home, subreddit haunted, and this is by educational phrase 819. Thank you guys for sharing this amazing story. We're running out of time, but I will check it out. I gave you guys a like. So, but if you guys are enjoying this kind of content and what I do here, please do what you do when you like a channel. Hit that like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. And I'll catch you guys on the next. Peace.